detail. We'll save that for another time.
That's okay. And you also mentioned a bit about the recycling scam. I feel you are quite passionate about this, but what is your motivation for this?
Well, the recycling, I call it a scam because there's a DVD video out in America by Al Gore called, An Inconvenient Truth.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would be better titled A Convenient Lie because it's completely unfounded. It's about global warming, and he waffles on about this, that and the other, and shows big icebergs breaking off, and it's going to be 2 foot of water, 2 foot extra water around the coastlines of all the countries. Half of New York will be wiped out, and the UK will be half its size, and it's completely unfounded. And he's basically using it for political. To take a political position. It's nothing to do with global warming. He's just picked up on the whole fact that there's a lot of people who are environmentally aware, and which is a good thing. Mm-hmm. And they basically, as always, these type of people will capitalise on it and manipulate the situation to get an angle to either create more tax or to get a position where they'll have a global power over the common people. So yeah, I've got a lot of issues on recycling. That's just the global warming issue. When it actually comes to the recycling as we know it in this country, if anyone was just to pop down to one of the local council recycling centres, as they're now called, they used to just be called the tip, but now they're called recycling centres, and just have a look at some of the things what are actually allegedly being recycled. You've got fridges, freezers, washing machines, cookers, TVs, monitors, stuff which they still look in perfect working order. Some of these things still have the stickers on the front from when they were purchased. These things are a year or so old. Washing machines used to last for 20 or 30 years. So did vacuum cleaners. A TV would last for 20 years. Now people are getting rid of the TV because it's been superseded, not because there's anything wrong with the old one. So once again, we're being manipulated into buying more and more things. Get rid of a television, which is still perfectly okay. What you may have had for 10 or 15 years, now the new generation of TVs, the plasma TVs, starting off at £5,000-6,000, now they're available in stores for as little as £300 or £400. So what's happening? It's just more and more marketing to get us to buy more and more things. Take another instance. There's a hardware chain in a store in England which is like a hardware DIY thing, and they sell loft insulation. Good idea. Loft insulation saves using energy, saves the loss of heat through your ceilings and your roof. Rockwool loft insulation. Alongside the Rockwool loft insulation is old plastic insulation. Same size bag as the Rockwool, twice the price. Recycled plastic loft insulation, twice the price of Rockwool loft insulation. So my first thoughts are, well, they're just capitalising on people who are actually environmentally friendly, and they're prepared to pay more for the plastic because they know that it's made of recycled materials. Is that right? Well, that's a question which needs to be addressed in a different way. Take another aspect: long light bulbs, low energy light bulbs. They're supposed to, when they first brought them out, they were supposed to last for 10 years. I know that most low energy light bulbs last a couple of years at best, and they cost 5 times the amount of a normal bulb. I feel a bit of a con away there once again. What about plastic milk containers? Why have plastic milk containers when they used to be made of cardboard? Plastic uses oil, it's a non-recyclable source. Cardboard's a recyclable source. Why aren't they made out of cardboard? Continue to be made out of plastic? Well, we would say, well, you recycle a plastic, but what's the point in recycling the plastic if it didn't need to be used in the first place? A lot of plastic items, a lot of containers use plastic items, and they don't need to be plastic. It's as simple as that. What about glossy junk mail? How much is the ink, the oil, what's used to create the ink on these glossy junk mails? Most people just pick them up and throw them straight in the bin. Is that right? What about it from a recycling point of view? I don't know. I think there's issues with it. What about a jet airliner? Everybody likes to go on holiday. A jet airliner uses loads of the fossil fuel resources. They use a lot of oil to take a trip. Just a few hour trip costs thousands of gallons of oil. It leaves a huge carbon footprint. But for what? So people can go across to a foreign country, probably just get drunk and sit on a beach. Well, that's fine, but it's got to be a balance. There's a human issue involved here, and the problem is that the global elite don't see it as a human issue. They see us as almost like an imposter, and they're wanting to change the face of the world completely by massively reducing the world population to under 500 million. There's 60 billion people on the planet at the moment, and they want to get it down to 500 million, and there's going to be a system of biological and possibly chemical warfare applied to humans to achieve this aim, and they're wanting to achieve this aim in the next decade. So we've got to wake up. We're running out of time.
Could you readdress the second part of the second question about how individually we can make a difference and how that works?
Okay, yeah, I didn't cover that question in great detail, but this is a little bit more of a scientific approach to the reality of life, what we live in at the moment. And there's no better person on this issue than Greg Braden. Anyone just clicks Greg Braden into YouTube, or go on my website and you'll find a link to him there. A fantastic bloke, worthy of a lot of commendation and very interesting. In brief, we live in a vibrational universe. We live in an electromagnetic system where we're connected with every other living thing and every other human on this planet. There is a very, very subtle but actual very real connection on a molecular level. This is now proven. It's quantum physics. Greg Braden calls it the quantum hologram. David Icke calls it the matrix, which is quite aptly named. And there's a lot of other people which some years ago it used to be called the ether or the etheric, the astral, or it's the quantum world. But what it is ultimately, it's the space between atoms, which we previously thought of as just a void. In fact, it's the space between atoms which creates the energy, which creates the physical matter of the living material universe we live in. Our thoughts create energy into this field, just electromagnetic energy radiate from our bodies, from each and every one of us. It's the center of this is generally our we call it the heart chakra, if you like, but it's our heart center. And this center, when with the right commitment of thought energy, this center radiates out into the hologram, as it actually is. The energies from your mind, intellect, emotional network, what you would call your physical body, and it sends out a signature, and that signature disperses out into the world.
And